Is this thing on? Hello, hello. Oh, guys, sorry about that there. Had to run all the way to the aft galley. Actually, no, if I'm being completely honest, I brewed a pot of coffee, but I forgot to put water in the reservoir. So, essentially, I just burnt the coffee grinds and made a complete mess. So, anyway, we got my coffee here. Thanks for your patience, guys. I apologize about that. I wanted to just have a nice, chill, relaxing stream, and I'm already starting off. I feel like I'm behind the 8 ball, but I'm just going to relax. We're going to chill out. We're going to fly the lovely Airbus today. How's it going? Couple new members in the house. Fixter Jake 11. How's it going, man? Thank you for supporting the channel, becoming a member. Captain Geo in the house with his wings. Very nice, very nice. Got your, had to update your card, got your badge back. All right. Oh, well, Slam Cannon, you're here for the live stream event. That's awesome. Good to have you here, man. I know you missed a couple of them. Always good to see some familiar faces in the house. Phantom 320, my man in the house. He says, look at that paint looking good. Phantom 320, I agree with you, sir. Guys, big shout out to Phantom 320. Give him some positive rates. He's helping me out a lot with the King Air stuff. As you guys probably if you watched that last stream, definitely did a lot of stuff wrong, and he's typed in the 350, so he's giving me some tips and stuff and how to get it completely accurate. So thank you for your help on that. Let's jump into it, guys. We are in rainy Portland, and let me tell you, this is the Flight Beam Portland, right? So I loaded into it perfectly fine. No FPS issues, and then I decided to load up the weather, and it dropped my FPS to about 25. So we'll take a quick look around the airport here real quick. When we get out of this rain, it'll be good. Also, I had an issue with my ortho. So I have Orbix Washington. I need to get Orbix Oregon and just get rid of the ortho. I had to get rid of an ortho tile for this scenery to work. So it's going to be kind of weird, but we're going to be able to clouds anyway, but won't be able to see too much ortho. But check out the detail in this airport, guys. Look at this little glass roof here. We got the cars running. This Flight Beam Portland is freaking awesome. So I'm really enjoying it. Like I said, the frames, I didn't see much of a difference when I did my testing. I always load up an airport in the default X-Plane settings with the C90 King Air, and then I install the new airport with the C90 King Air, and I see what my frames are. They were exactly the same until I loaded up the weather. The weather right now, for some reason, really is just tanking my FPS. I think it has to do with the rain. But, I mean, you can tell here, this thing is just beautiful. So let's hop into the flight deck. It's cold and dark, guys. I just have the ground power running. So, normally, what you would find here... Oops. Uh-oh. Okay, that scared me. I might have to get out of this rain. But there's a ground service bus up here. So sometimes when you get to an airplane, you'll notice that it has power. It has very limited power. It has, the nav lights on and a couple emergency lights. Not even emergency lights, just the maintenance lights, really. And essentially, there's a little switch up here. It's the avionics bus, or, yeah, not avionics. The mechanics bus switch up here that you can turn on. And it will power certain parts of the airplane. That's when you walk in, you see some stuff powered up. But essentially, the airplane is still cold and dark here. I'm trying to simulate that with just the ground power on. But let's hop into the captain's seat. Get out of here. The flight surgeon says, I'm flying a 320 in real life on Saturday. Excellent, man. That's awesome. Let's come to the overhead. Let's start with our overhead flow here. We're going to go up the left-hand side of the captain panel. We'll get the cruise supply on. Ground control would come on. We got 2 fault lights there. That's normal. Let's go ahead and get the ADIRs into the aligned position. Looking at our on battery lights to illuminate and extinguish. 1, 2, and 3. Dougal in the house. How's it going, buddy? Good to see you here. All right, we're going to keep the fuel pumps off. We'll do our little fire test here. We'd be checking the ECAM, make sure all our warnings are coming on, and then, of course, the APU. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and get the APU fired up right now because I want to probably... Is it cold up in Portland? I don't know what the current weather is. We'll take a look here in a minute. Get the heat on. Early morning flights like this, like to get the air on. get the cabin fresh air. Sometimes when it sits overnight, it gets kind of musty smell. So we'll go ahead and fire up the APU right away. Have you guys seen any updates on the Tolus 319 sound pack? I thought I saw Comrade post a video about him testing 319 pack, but then I think he was flying an FSX. So I'm not sure if there's been any future updates on the 319 yet, but I'm itching for him to get that puppy out. You can tell probably by the thumbnail of this livery here was the 319. I almost took the 319 up today, but I just wanted those sounds of the BSS pack, so I didn't do a 319. Oh, I did all this. I did a mistake here, guys. I should have finished my flow. I jumped ahead of myself. I should have done the fire test, come down the panel here, turned on the batteries before doing any of this stuff here. So that was a mistake on my part. We're still on external power. We can go ahead and disconnect that now that we have our veil light. Let's see. Captain's going to be flying today, so we'll put that in position 1. Seatbelts can stay off. We'll keep all that off for now until we figure out our fuel load. We are connected to Pilot Edge this morning. But let's go ahead and load up the airplane what we want to take it, how we want to take it out of here. Let's go ahead and fill up the bins. That looks good. Let's take a full load out of here. Heavy 320 today. We'll set full passengers. And for fuel, man, I didn't do any of my conversions today. I think 9.5 should be plenty. Matter of fact, I think that's too much. I hate this kilogram thing. Let's do 7.2. What's that? That's over 20,000 pounds. That should be enough. I'm gonna set that, and then we'll take a look at our flight plan, make sure we have enough gas. I don't have my flight plan with me. Like I said, I'm a little bit behind this morning, even though that was the complete opposite of what I wanted to do. I wanted to just sit back and chill. All right, we're gonna load up the airport here. I'm gonna go, you know what I'm gonna do, guys? I'm gonna keep the browser off. Uh-oh. My X-Plane, this new OBS update, guys, it's crazy. It's my CPU. I've got an i9 running at 4.9 gigahertz right now, and if I look at my processing tab, Streamlabs is taking 24% of my CPU, and X-Plane is taking 19.5. So something is going on with this Streamlabs update that is just I don't know what the heck is going on, but it's pissing me off. I hate it when they update stuff that's not broken. You know, now I got to update video drivers, and I'm on a specific set of drivers because for stability issues with some other sim, DCS, I like running a certain Nvidia driver, and now I have to force update. Donation. Barak Uslu, $20 bomb donation. He just comes in. He says, "I missed the last 2 live streams. Glad to catch this one." Gosh, I can't read the text too fast. Hold on, let me fix this this freaking editor, man. I have a whole new interface, and I can't read your messages here. He says, "I missed the last 2 streams. Glad to catch this one at Cheers." Thank you so much, Barak. Really appreciate your donation, man. Thank you for supporting the channel. I hope I got all your message there. It's hard for me to see all these messages. It keeps giving me issues here in this Streamlabs thing. Another donation. Bald guy flies planes. He says, "Love your content. Keep it up." $5 super chat. Thank you so much, sir. Appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thank you for supporting the channel. I'm sorry if you guys send me a message that I miss it. I'm going to, once I get this airplane programmed, I'm going to mess with the Streamlabs editor here, try to get a different view up, because I can't, all my views are gone, all the panels are changed, it's all just messed up, man. It's really aggravating me this morning. All right, 2835 for the ATIS on Pilot Edge, the lovely Pilot Edge. We're going to be operating Spirit Wings 424 today. Spiritual Wangs. 128.35 is the ATIS Freak.
Portland INTL information golf. 1500 Zulu weather.
That doesn't sound like Pilot Edge, does it?
Visibility more than 10.
Are we connected?
Sky conditions 3900 broken. 6900 overcast. Temperature 12. Dew point 8. Altimeter 2985. Arriving runways 10 left.
That doesn't sound good, guys. It doesn't sound like we're connected with Pilot Edge. Let's try them on clearance delivery. 120.12.
Wind 110 at 8. Visibility more than 10.
Let's see if I can get a call on clearance. I haven't heard anybody talk, and this doesn't sound good. We may have more technical difficulties right off the bat. Where are we? Spirit? Yeah. In Portland, clearance delivery, Spirit Wings 424.
Go ahead.
I'd like to pick up our, just want to do a, well, first we want to do a mic check. How do you hear this radio?
I hear you loud and clear.
Okay, great. Thank you, sir. Spirit Wings 424, I'd like to pick up IFR clearance to Oakland.
Spirit Wings 424, Portland clearance clear to Oakland Airport, Mini 5 departure. HISQ transition then as filed. Climb and maintain 7,000. Departure frequency 118.42, squawk 7241.
All right, we're cleared to Oakland, -5, departure, HISQ transition, then as filed, climb, maintain a 7,000, departure frequency is 1842, squawking 7241, Spirit Wings 424.
Spirit Wings 424, read back correct.
All right, so it's not my girlfriend on there, but he sounds like he's in a decent mood. At least we have comms. I don't know why the ATIS isn't being recorded. Maybe that's a Pilot Edge thing. Let's just go ahead and listen to the default ATIS here. Wind 110 at 8, 3900 overcast, 2985 on the meters. 10 left, 10 right, information golf. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and load up the box. Austrian 279 says, do you like the Tollus 319 or the Flight Factor 320 more? Man, you guys you love that question. Austrian 279. It's very tight right now. I think the Flight Factor right now is running a little bit ahead of the Tollus because of the sound pack availability with the BSS sound pack. Now, once Tollus releases their sound pack, once BSS releases the sound pack for the Tollus 319, I think you're going to see maybe a change in that. So right now, it's very close, man. You're going to be happy with either one of the Airbuses, I promise you. The MCU...
Tango Bravo Roger, are you flying departure procedure?
The McDo in the Flight Factor is definitely a little bit more advanced at this current state of development for both airplanes. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I do have a comparison video on my channel. It's very old, so it's kind of unfair to reference that video now, I think. But I mean, if you're curious about the flying and the flight model and stuff, I think that's still pretty valid. I know Tollus did some updates on their abnormal or alternate law flying after that video release, so that was nice to see. So I'm going to do a full comparison video here once we get the BSS pack for the Tollus, though, so bear with me a little bit longer. All right, we're going off the Mines 5 HISQ transition. We're going to insert that. I'm going to try to stay a more... more current with the chat instead of trying to stream back to everybody's comments until we get up in cruise. So if I miss some of your stuff, I apologize. I'm trying to stay more engaged with you guys. All right. Technical Aviator in the house. He says, yo, what's up, V1? Can't talk since I'm in school. Just wanted to say hi. Good to have you here, Tech. Stay in school, man. HISQ, and then we're going to go Quebec 5. So I ordered a mic muff for my Yeti microphone, and it was supposed to come last Friday. It's still not here. And then Amazon, I checked today, it just basically Amazon said, sorry, your package is lost. So I apologize if there's still some popping noise. Oh, who's that other Spirit Wings going to San Francisco? It's got to be one of you guys in the chat. That's pretty cool, dude. All right, Quebec 5 out to Hoop 2, and then we're going to go direct to Spammy. So essentially, I ordered a new... Uh-oh. Spammy. And then the Windsor 2. So I ordered a new microphone muff for my Yeti microphone, essentially. But I'm just not having good luck.
Donation.
Dougal
Donation.
coming in at $10 donation. He says, dude, I feel so bad. I can't read these messages. Hold on, let me figure this out. He says, love what you do. Thank you, Dougal. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for the support. Thank you for supporting the channel. You guys are awesome. Hold on, I'm looking at my Streamlabs overlay, guys, real quick here. I'm trying to figure this out. I want to get rid of this view here. Switch to new events feed. Basically, what's happening is it runs. So what's happening is OBS is running a preview of my stream, which is taking a lot of performance. Okay, but now I got the notifications up so I can read your messages when you donate. Dougal says, love what you do. Thank you so much, Dougal. Barak, I see the rest of your message now that was cut off before. He says, glad you can catch this one. Cheers, Captain. Thank you so much, man. Thank you, guys. You guys are awesome. All right, so now I can see notifications. That makes me feel a little bit better. I'm going to have to figure this whole Streamlab things out. All right, back to programming the box here. We're going ILS 30 left, Oakland, and the arrival is the Windsor 2. Oh boy, Parb, Farney, Novia. This is where it gets not quite accurate. So let me pull up my iPad here. Simone Tumba says FPS on the ground with a flight factor 320. Right now, I'm not even going to check because I'll probably be depressed. It's probably about 25 to 20 with the rain and with this new Streamlabs update. This Streamlabs is taking more CPU usage than X-Plane is right now. Should not be that way. Alright, so I'm looking at my en route chart here to keep stuff minimized here. We're going to be coming on the arrival for Oakland. So Hoop 2 Spammy, and then the Windsor 2 should pick up at... There should be a transition here. Arrow right. Here we go, transition Spammy. So that happens, you see how it populated Hubert here? That's not quite accurate to the real airplane. There's some kind of funkiness going on here right now. Let's go ahead and close the gap, insert. Now I have 2 Spammies. That's weird. Can I delete one of them? Nope. I don't know what the heck is going on. We'll leave it. Anyway, that looks good. Rest of our route is in there. Discon for ILS 30 left. Perfect. Secondary, initialize. We're going to do a quick return here. PDX to PDX. I'm just going to use the keyboard much faster. KPDX, KPDX. Someone Thomas says you can activate an FPS counter on the top bar with Project Fly. Yeah, I sure can. Maybe I'll do that here in a minute. I'm happy to see Project Fly is back up. It was making me nervous there for a while. It went down. All my repo pilots were going to be out of a job. All right, we're going to do an emergency return, ILS 10 left, and then the perf data for our return, should we have to return. I'm just going to put 2985. Temperature right now, the airplane is reading is 12. We're not going to use any wind performance, so we have maximum conservative numbers. And the MBA, we're just going to put 200 in the DH because I don't want to look it up. And for the progress page, we're going to go PDX 10 left for a quick and dirty GPS reference. So now we're just waiting on our perf. All right. Ooh, Easy Pilot says, what do you like more, sharklets or the wingtip fence? Let's take a look. I think I'd be lying to myself if I said I like the wingtip fence. I definitely think the wingtip fence is iconic looking for the Airbus, but the ones with the sharklets do look nice, especially when you look at a 321 with sharklets. It looks to me like a 757, which I like the 757. I think that's a great looking airplane, so I kind of like the sharklets. Airplanes with sharklets or Airbuses with sharklets tend to float a little bit more on landing too, I've noticed, in real life. So we'll go ahead and remove the chocks here, and let's go ahead and take a look at our perf data, make sure everything is set. So I need to come here and let's reset this screen for you guys. Alright, init B. Hit this button here. What do we got? 59.3. That checks. Zero fuel weight 27.3. That checks as well. 53 minutes extra gas. Perfect. I hope we don't need an alternate. So our perf is set. Let's go ahead and put in some numbers. We're gonna bump these up here. We're gonna go 141, 144, 141. Flaps 1. And it's a contaminated runway. We're going to simulate that there's standing water, so we're not going to flex today. It's going to be a no flex takeoff. Certain conditions where you will not flex, contaminated runway is one of them, so we will not flex. Up to 7,000 feet is the initial. And let's take a look at our transponder. He gave us a squawk code of 7241. And I'm just going to turn it on now. Like I said, this is not accurate procedure in real life, but for Pilot Edge Network, they need it on TARA at all times. I'm going to put this in above mode, and we are on mode and on. So now he can see us on his ground radar. Alright, we don't need to contact ramp, but for taxi out, we're going to need to call 121.9. And then tower frequency is going to be 18.3. Got that set. I still really need a radio panel. Dimitri, I am. How's it going, man? Look at you two stripers. Couple two stripers in the house now. Dimitri, I am. Dougal, Wojtek. Good to have you guys here. He says, hello, Captain. Sorry I'm late. Oh, life gets in the way sometimes, Dimitri. Don't worry, man. That is true. I was late myself getting the stream started. So, no harm, no foul. I'm just glad you could make it. Glad to have everybody here. Alright, let's start closing up some doors. We have our fuel. We can go ahead and get rid of that. Let's go ahead and remove that door. Let's go ahead and close up the cargo. Listen to the hydraulic sounds. I love it. Little condor out there. I don't know if that's necessarily accurate. Man, that whining sound of the hydraulics. Alright, we have fuel on board, so let's go ahead and get our pumps on. We'll go ahead and get the seatbelts on and auto. Arm that. Beautiful. Alright. I think we are ready to run a checklist, guys. Let's go ahead and... What's our cabin temp right now? Run through a status check here. Dimitri, I am coming in with a $20 super chat bomb. He says, a bit late today, but still here. Dimitri, not a problem, man. Let's get some positive rates out there for Dimitri making it to the stream. Hey, and a couple more positive rates for everybody else. That was Barak and Dougal also coming in strong with some donations this morning, guys. I got to be better about sending out my emojis. We also need more. We have room for 5 more emojis to make, so I need emoji ideas. You guys come up with emoji ideas. We got some more, but definitely some positive rates out there for Dimitri, Dougal, and Barak. All you guys. Everybody deserves a positive rate out there. Alright, so we've got hydraulic looks good. What I opened this for? Air conditioning. 24C across the board. That looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Alright, I think we're ready to run a checklist and get out of here. Now if I could just find where I put my checklist. Give me a second, guys. All right, well, I guess checklist is missing. I guess we're not going to run a checklist. I'll just kind of do it from memory. Doors and windows, they are not closed. Let's go ahead and close up the, what am I looking for? Passenger door, we can go ahead and remove that. Doors and windows are closed and on. Beacon is on. Thrust levers idle. Parking brake is on. Transponder is on. Before start, checklist complete. Let's plan better pushback. Let's get on our way, guys. That's exactly where I want to go.
Ground to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
All right, I think we're ready for push. I'm really bummed. Where's my freaking checklist at? I'll look for it here in a second. Let's go ahead and start the pushback.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Tow is driving up. Oh, we need to disconnect the gate here. So I'm going to come down here to Delta 6. We'll disconnect the gate. Man, my CPU is just spiking, man. This freaking OBS is killing me here. I wonder if I can just remove the preview. Guess not. I really hate this Streamlabs. Guys, did the video...
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Is the stream description and title still there when you guys are looking at the channel? Because when I went to go live with Streamlabs, it basically said, I don't know what you're talking about. And I just went live manually, but...
Donation.
Captain Geo in the house donated $2. He says, I'm a fueler at Miami now. Come down so I can do... Come down so I can... did some go-go juice in that puppy 321. Yes, sir, Captain Geo. That's awesome, man. Congrats. Try to keep that Jet A off your skin, man. That stuff will stain your clothes. You can always tell when the fueler walks up to the cockpit. I don't even have to turn around. I can just smell him half the time. That's awesome, though, Captain Geo.
So connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Alrighty. Brakes released. Clear to push. Tail in the alley.
Starting pushback. And you may start engines.
Got a little Scum Country Airlines there off our right-hand side. Charlie Checklist says we only have 4 likes and 90 people watching. Ouch.
Number 683 Tango.
I normally don't really get into you know, the like thing. I normally don't advertise for likes and subscribes, but 4? Ouch. You guys are hurting me. Dougal says V1 take at rest advice and run OBS on a GPU. I must have missed a message. Oh, to run OBS on a GPU, how would one do that? Is that something I can do midstream, or is that something I'm going to have to do after the stream? Flight Surgeon, a $1 donation comes in. He says, I'm a broke college student trying to save for med school, so can't afford too much, but I love watching how you operate the Airbus planes realistically. The Flight Surgeon, thank you so much, man. Don't worry about it. $1 donation, that is awesome. Appreciate your support. Glad you're enjoying the content. Med school, man, that is a lot of money. So I feel your pain. Stay in school, man. That's awesome, though. That's really appreciate your support. I got a good buddy who is doing his residency right now in, I think he's in North Texas, Plano or something like that. But I know that that whole med school route is a lot of schooling. If you guys think becoming a pilot is expensive and there's a lot of work, you should look into becoming a medical professional. They have to do so much work. But thank you, flight surgeon. Really appreciate that. All right. I think we're going to have to start, so let's go ahead and fire up engine number 1. We're going to go ahead and turn that over. We've got PSI. We're going to fire up engine number 1. Have a listen.
Operation
Oh, shoot.
complete. Set parking brake.
All right, brakes set. Clear disconnect. Leave me alone.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Don't mean to drink right on the microphone, sorry. I may have forgot to turn the beacon light on. Either that or it just doesn't flash on this skin. Might be an issue. It is kind of light out. Maybe it's not supposed to be. Mateo says, are you on ATC service? Yes, I am on Pilot Edge radio network. Alright, sounds like we've got a good start on engine number 1. The beacon is on. We're gonna do hey, who pushed in front of me? That's freaking awesome. If it's one of you in the stream, is that one of you in the stream that just pushed back in front of me? I love it. I love it. Starting engine number 2.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the right. We'll see you next time and have a great flight.
Thanks for the smooth push. Smooth push. We'll see you next time.
Alright, straight for left base, A3 Tango.
3 thugs in a tug. Give them the salute. Watch the tow bar off the right-hand side of the aircraft, and then we're going to get on our way, folks.
Important ground, Spirit Wing 16, ready to taxi, and we have India.
Spirit Wing 16 going to San Fran.
16, confirm information. India.
Alberto Delgadillo donated $2 through Super Chat. He comes in, I'm saving up for my first time trip to Europe. Excellent, Alberto. Thank you so much for your support, man. Thank you so much for your support, Alberto.
That's what I believe it is.
Appreciate your support, man.
India. Yeah, that's interesting. I'll.
This guy's having an ADIS problem here. Let's go ahead and set flaps 1. Actually, we're going to go like this, and we're going to go like this, and then we're going to come to this view, and then set flaps 1.
Just for sequencing purposes, when you're coming in straight from the east like that, then you can.
Where are you going to be headed to in Europe, Alberto? That's pretty sweet, man. You're going to be taking a 330 over there, some long haul. You're going to be taking some wide body over there, I'm sure. But that's awesome, Alberto.
Yourself on a 3-mile final, which is completely unnecessary for your aircraft type. Runway 17 left. Clear to land, wind call.
Captain G, you heading out? See you, buddy.
To land, and apologies for that, A3 Tango.
Dougal says, V1, I don't think the membership link is working. Uh-oh. I'll have to fix that as well. I was trying to...
Seems like we're not getting anything other than the default ATIS.
This guy is talking about the ATIS.
Spirit 16, when you filed your flight plan, did you select custom weather? Negative. Am I?
Yeah, for Spirit 424, we can confirm we're just getting the default ATIS as well.
Roger, thanks.
Membership link isn't working. Uh-oh. If you guys type in, let's see here. Was it commands, I think, is the Nightbot command, and it should have another link. So what happened is, like I said, when I started Streamlabs, everything got messed up. And I had to redo my briefings and everything, and I tried to redo all the links in the description because somebody brought it to my attention that all the links were broken as well. So I'm trying to fix that as well. Let me look at see if I can pull up another link here for you guys. If you do exclamation point a member, that's what it is. If you're looking for memberships, guys, it's exclamation point member. Alberto, you're going to the UK. Awesome, man. Where are you going to be flying out of? What airport do you think? Where's your hometown? I feel like it's somewhere on the East Coast. Are you East Coast? I know there's a couple of you guys that are East Coast based. All right, so we can, while we're sitting here, let's go ahead and just do everything while we're sitting here because we're waiting to taxi out. We don't need the APU anymore. Engine 2 is started. We don't need any anti-ice because we are above 10. See?
Portland ground, runway 10 left at Echo, taxi via
Let's do a flight control check.
Kilo and Echo.
Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right.
Echo,
Neutral.
Tango, then
Full
Kilo
left.
and Echo.
Full right. Neutral. We're just going to come to our FAT panel here. Cabin ready. And let's go ahead and take off. Oops. Auto brakes max. Takeoff config. PWS comes on. Boom, boom. TARA.
Rate 3 Tango, which ramp you parking?
We're going to go to the Alpha ramp. Kodiak A3 Tango.
Rate 3 Tango, roger, northbound Alpha, east down this frequency.
I'm going to move forward.
Right, north on Alpha, and remain this frequency. A3 Tango.
And Portland ground, Spirit Wings 424. We just backed off Delta 6, ready taxi.
Spirit Wings 424, Portland ground, runway 10 left at Echo, taxi via Tango, Kilo, Echo.
Tango Kilo Echo 10 left at Echo for Spirit Wings 424. All right, Tango Kilo Echo to 10 left at Echo. So I just put that in the scratch pad there. Uh-oh. Oh boy, that scared me. I don't know what happened there. I hit. Hey, I love that Spirit livery out there as well, though. Let's get out of here, boys. Gosh, this looks so awesome.
Spirit Wings 424, we tried rebooting our ADIS system. Can you just, as a favor, just check the Portland ADIS now to see if it rebooted?
Yeah, hold on one sec.
Thanks.
Altimeter 2985.
There we go.
Arriving and departing runways 10 left, 10 right. Visual approaches in use. Donation.
Rand Cool, $68 $10 bomb. He says, can't have enough diapers, enjoy the channel. Lots of fun and very educational. Thank you so much, Rand Cool. Really appreciate it, man. Thank you for your support.
Advise on initial contact. You have information Alpha.
Alpha. Sweet. Yeah, and ground for Spirit Wings 424. We have information Alpha now, and it is working.
Roger, thanks.
All right, so Tango Kilo Echo. So right turn, I think. Yeah, a right turn out behind old Spirit Boy. I really bumped. I don't have my checklist here.
Holding short of 10 left, ready for departure, and we also have Alpha. Spirit Wings 16.
28.
Portland tower, roger,
Nope.
thank you.
Tower is going to be
110 at 8, runway
18.7.
10 left at Echo, cleared for takeoff. Cleared for takeoff 10 left at Echo, Spirit Wings 16.
I feel like I'm at work. I got traffic on the radio and everything. This is cool. 18.7 for tower. So he's going to San Fran. We're headed down to Oakland. 7,000 feet initial. Departure freak was, let me check my notes, 1842. So I'm going to put that down here in the standby. $18.42. There we go. There he goes. Have a good flight, sir. Michael Zanner in the house says, yo, what's up, man? How's it going? Good to have you here. Feels good to be back in the Airbus, guys. I'm not going to lie. I feel like I can interact with you guys now. We can hang out. I don't have to be chasing prop needles and torque sensors and all this stuff. We can just have a good old flight. We'll go ahead and hold short right here. Portland Tower, Square Wings 424, holding short, 10 left echo, ready to go.
211 Juliet Alpha, airport to downway.
Whoops.
Square Wings 424, Portland Tower, hold short, runway 10 left at echo, fighters facing.
Hold short, 10 left, Square Wings 424.
211 Juliet Alpha, San Francisco.
Holding short. All right, so I'm gonna pull up if I can do it here quickly before he gets us. I'm gonna try to pull up a checklist on my iPad because I feel like I'm violating everything by not doing a checklist, and I don't know where my checklist is.
16, Portland departure, warning radar contact, climb and maintain 15,000.
All right, so still raining here. Nice. How about this view? I love this. I love this airplane, man. All right, I'm looking at my publications here. I need to just find a regular.
Square Wings 424, runway 10 left at echo, line up and wait.
10 left at echo, line up and wait. Square Wings 424.
10
left at echo, line up and wait. So we're gonna just go ahead and do this. We're gonna put them in the standby mode. So my landing lights aren't actually on yet.
Departure, Nikki. Direct tilt, then as filed. Climb via the SID, accept to maintain 10,000. Departure frequency 135.1, squawk 1310.
That just sounds amazing.
Clear to John Wayne, offshore departure, making transition, direct tilt.
I'm having an issue with my, look how crappy my rudders are. Holy smokes.
Squawk 1310, 1 Juliet Alpha.
Alright, well, I don't have my checklist on me, but we're pretty much good to go.
51 Tango Bravo, Casper approach, roger.
6.9 on board.
424, runway 10 left at echo, cleared for takeoff.
10 left at echo, clear for takeoff, Square Wings 424. Alright, guys. You ready to get out of here?
Bravo, Alpha 3012, expect visual approach, runway 21.
Spool them up, 50%. Stabilized, and toga. Yoga! Man toga, SRS runway. Auto thrust is blue. Nose forward on the stick. $80 knots, thrust set. Neutral by 100. V1, rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. We're navving. That is sweet. Uh-oh, we gotta make a turn. So this is what I'm talking about. I had to remove a certain tile of ortho for this airport to work. So we're slightly ortholess just in this little tile. Positive trend in airspeed before I reduce the thrust levers. There we go. Where's the D10? There it is. Thrust, climb, climb, auto thrust. Disarm the spoilers. And the chrono. I didn't completely forget. Let's watch an auto retraction.
Square Wings 424, contact departure.
Over departure, Square Wings 424. Alright, so about 207. We should get an auto retraction of the flaps.
51 Tango Bravo, fly heading 310 vectors.
Might be close. There they go. There's the auto retraction of flaps. The slats are still out, as indicated by the upper recam. Then we'll go ahead and manually retract. Flap 0. After takeoff checklist. There's the clouds. Let's go autopilot 1. What's our temperature? Plus 11. It's only going to get colder. Preemptively, let's get the heats on. Flip over departure. Portland departure, good afternoon. Spirit Wings 424 is 4.4, climb at 7,000.
Spirit 424, Portland departure, radar contact, climb maintain 15,000.
Climb maintain at 15,000, Spirit Wings 424. 15 is blue, climb and maintain. We're going to go unrestricted open climb. I'm going to turn up pilot edge a little bit so you guys can hear him. Alright, so we are plus 11. Technically, we're not in icing conditions yet, but I am preemptively keeping the icing on because it will get cooler as we climb. One thing I wish is that I wish these rain effects here would go away with airspeed. So realistically, in real life, you're not going to be using the wipers until you are on final approach and you're pretty slow because there's really no need to have them. And once you're at high speed, kind of like we are now doing 250, even if you're in heavy rain, it just beats off the windows so fast you don't even really see it. So no need to have the wipers on in cruise. Michael Zanner coming in with 10 euros, 10.99 super chat. It's Solar, by the way. Yes, I remember you, Michael Zanner, aka Solar. I just turned 15, so I can do my glider's license, and I'm having a meeting and third flight lesson in a few days. I'm hyped. I live in Lowy, and it's super cool gliding in the valley. Oh man, that's awesome. I bet it is. Out there in Lowy, man, that's got to be a lot of fun to be gliding around in the valley and the terrain out there. Stay safe, man. Don't get complacent, but that's cool that you have such passion for aviation. You're only 15 years old. Robert Blackmore says, hey guys, Romulus here. I have the Fractal Design R6 case, and you love mine too. Really? It's a good case. I have like an Antec fan case. It's pretty darn ugly, but it's got about 3,000 fans in it. There's 10,000 feet. Let's go ahead and kill the lights. That looks like a good configuration there.
424, contact Seattle Center 121.4.
21.4, Spirit Wings 424. 21.4.
One Tango Bravo, turn 10 degrees left. Descend and maintain 7,000.
Ice is off. We're out of 10,000. We're climbing 10.6. Center, good afternoon. Spirit Wings 424, 10.7, climbing 15,000.
Spirit Wings 424, Seattle Center, climb and maintain flight level 230.
Climb maintain flight level 230, Spirit Wings 424. All right, up to 230. That is blue. Let's take a look at a beautifully nothing. Maybe we can see the mountains. Nope. High overcast layer today, guys. My CPU is cooking right now. Fucking OBS. I hate you. Looks like my beagle just broke into the cockpit. Hopefully he behaves himself. I don't know how to get. If anybody has Streamlabs in your streamer, in the new update, is it possible to hide that preview? So essentially, from what's happening is Streamlabs is running my stream as well as the actual sim, as well as streaming it. So I can eliminate a complete preview if I could get rid of the preview mode. And you used to be able to do that in the old Streamlabs. In this new OBS, I can't seem to remove the preview mode. Not much to look out off that window. Man, my frames, I'm sorry guys. My CPU running at 4.98 gigahertz now, running at 82%. And let's take a look at the processes. Streamlabs OBS is taking more CPU than X-Plane. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. I hate you, Streamlabs. Makes me want to go to Twitch. Or I guess that's not really, that wouldn't solve the problem, would it? Michael Zanner coming in and says, yeah, I only got interested in aviation 7 months ago, and when I got really into it, I was in love with aviation and everything about it. I want to be a FedEx MD-11 pilot when I'm older. That's awesome. Zanner, when I was in training for my regional job, my sim partner on the Embraer 170, his father is a MD-11 captain for FedEx. And matter of fact, his wife is also an MD-11 captain. So he flies at JetBlue now. but it's kind of ironic. You know, he wants to get to FedEx eventually, but he's happy. He's over on the Airbus. He just switched to the Airbus over on JetBlue. Dimitri says, what's the stat? Do we need anti-ice? We did, Dimitri, when we were climbing out, but we are well above any visible moisture right now, so we're looking good. We can go ahead and turn terrain mode on, and what I'm going to do, since we're above the clouds, I'm going to save a little bit of FPS, I think, here, and just go ahead and turn the radar off. Save the radiation. I might want to have another kid, although I'm pretty spoiled with mine right now, I think. Alright, we're 14.2, climbing 230. Everything looks good. We don't need this anymore. Since we were through 10,000 feet, what we'll do is we'll just go ahead and copy the active and then clear out any hard-tuned radio navigation, which we don't have. We didn't hard-tune anything, so we don't need to do that. But at 10,000, we call it clear and copy. Essentially, you copy your active flight plan and clear out any hard-tuned radio navs that you may have had for departure. So we are cleared and copied. Estimated fuel on board upon landing 3.4. I just had a minor heart attack because I thought that was in pounds, but I forget that's in kilos, so we should be good there. Looks like we're going to make the turn up here at the Mini. We are looking good. I'm going to have to figure out something here in Task Manager. Give me another second, guys. I'm looking at processes, X-plane. I'm going to try to end one of the CEF renders. That did nothing. I've never seen my CPU work this hard unless I'm rendering a video in Sony Vegas. This is unreal.
Make sure you read back all frequency changes.
OnePlus F says, are you in studio mode, V1 Sim? In studio mode. How do I switch to studio mode? I'm in editor mode. I don't have... Is there a way to get to studio mode? There used to be, but I don't see how to get to studio mode anymore in the new interface.
424, contact Seattle Center 135.15.
3515, Spirit Wings 424. 3515. Yeah, I mean, this is terrible. Seattle Center, good afternoon. Spirit Wings 424, 16.9, climbing flight level 230.
Spirit Wings 424, Seattle Center, climb and maintain flight level 350.
Climb and maintain a 350, Spirit Wings 424. 35 blue. Turn off antivirus. I have that off. I want to get to, like, the editor view. There is no studio view anymore that I can see. Oh wait, hold on. Studio mode. Oh my gosh, now I'm running double renders. Oh, now I'm really cooking the CPU. Log out. Well, we don't want to do that. What if I go to dashboard? Oh, nope, we don't want to go there.
1495, read back correct.
You guys got any ideas? I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of that stupid preview. Anyway. I missed another one. Sorry. Michael Zanner, he says, I also like old Russian commercial planes, but I'm not planning on flying with them. I'm sticking with the MD-11. Excellent, man. I do like some old Russian planes as well. There's some pretty cool ones out there. Let's go ahead and hop back to this wing view here. Looks in the game, it says 3.4 pounds of fuel won't get you very far. Definitely not. That would be below, that would be a minimum fuel declaration if we were landing with 3.4 most likely in pounds. But 3.4 kilos, what's that? I think about 9,000 pounds, that's pretty good. Costa Rica. Jose Andre Rivera says, hey there, greetings from Costa Rica. Good to see you, man. He says, awesome channel. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
351 Tango Bravo, runway 21, clear touch and go left traffic.
Nightbot going on a spam hammer there. Virginia says, be patient.
Number 211 Juliet Alpha, thank you, sir. Do you prefer runway 28 right? Or would you
Is
like
that the Sims FPS or the streams? It's probably a little bit of both right now. I don't know. I don't know how it's turning out for you guys. Is the stream pretty terrible right now? I'm not sure. It's this OBS update, man. This OBS update is just terrible. Maybe when we get away from some of these clouds too, that'll help. But I mean, I've been able to stream with the old OBS. I was able to stream the flight factor in weather, you know, with a consistent 40 FPS, never really go below 40, which with the flight factor, that's pretty darn good. And before I even started streaming, I was doing about 25 when I had this new Streamlabs update on. I was running Streamlabs in the background, so I don't know what's going on. I might have to do a driver swap as well. Flight Surgeon says in Memphis we get so much MD-11 traffic. Yes, you definitely do, man. I used to fly in there quite a bit. I haven't been in Memphis in a long time now, but when I was flying at the regionals, we'd go into Memphis, often behind MD-11. It's pretty crazy, that whole setup they have there in Memphis. If you haven't been down there, it's pretty crazy that when you look at the FedEx facilities and how they got everything set up. I mean, it's essentially an entire, well, it is. It's their, you know, their HQ, but the operation that they run is pretty complex.
Subscriber ahead. Look up.
New subscriber, SonyBoy94. Thank you for that. Thanks for subscribing to the channel, man. Glad you're enjoying the content. Michael Zaner says barrel roll. No thank you. Not a normal law anyway. I don't think we'd be able to complete one. SonyBoy94 says good afternoon / morning. Just came across your channel from CC Captain Canada, I believe. Love that you're a real pilot. Awesome, SonyBoy94. Glad you were able to find the channel. Glad you subscribed, man. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the content. Today we are back in the old Airbus, trying to get back to the roots here. I was doing some fun flying with the King Air. Was it yesterday or the day before? Did a couple Boeing streams. I do have my new honeycomb yoke, which I'm loving. So unfortunately, no honeycomb yoke today for the Airbus, but it's been fun, man. We're back in the Airbus. I feel like I can, when I stream with the Airbus, I feel like I can interact with the chat much more because I'm not constantly behind and trying to remember things and figure things out. I have a pretty good handle on it. Sometimes, you know, especially in that King Air stream, it's hard for me to be looking at the chat and interacting with you guys and trying not to get violated. Michael Sanders says the DC-10 is the 737 MAX, just the older version. Ouch. I can't wait for the Rotate MD-11, man. That thing
you can make that
is freaking
with,
awesome.
Tower. Generally, if you cross the runways, they prefer you go forward.
I did find my checklist here, so I've got that on my iPad now. But yeah, the Rotate MD-11, man, is looking fantastic. I can't wait till we get one of those out. Flight Surgeon says you took a tour of the FedEx facility in August. Nice. You guys ever seen Castaway? I love that movie. Tom Hanks. He starts over there in Memphis in the old facility. Captain Sylvania says, what flex temp should you use in Los Angeles? That depends, Captain Sylvania. Normally, you know, it's going to depend on your weight, your gross weight, and things of that nature, the temperature outside. If it is a contaminated runway though, if it's, you know, heavy rain or something like that, then you're probably not going to use flex. But you can get away with a 60 flex in LA, no problem. Michael Zander coming in, another super chat. It says, if you turn off the FAC or those weird switches above you, the Airbus will go over 45 degrees. Yes, it will. We don't want to do that though on Pilot Edge. We're going to try to keep it. We're going to try to keep it pretty kosher right now. But that brings up a point though. If you are ever in a situation, and there was a situation that happened to an Airbus pilot, I believe it was Qantas. I'm sure one of you guys in the comments know, but it was a Qantas flight. And essentially what happened was very similar to kind of what happened to the Max. And the crew, they were flying along over the ocean, no problems, and all of a sudden the airplane thought that it was in a dive. And hold on, OnePlus just came in and said V1 Simmer, you're running Streamlabs OBS 1.4 in editor mode, right click. And select performance mode. While in editor, right click and select performance mode. Themes editor. I can't get to performance mode. Oh wait, hold on, performance mode. Oh my gosh. OnePlus F. You're my hero, dude. Thank you. Preview mode is disabled in performance mode. Thank you so much. Look at that. CPU already dropped to 62%, 55% now. Oh, you're a lifesaver. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. I knew there had to be something. Yes, now look at that. Now Streamlabs has taken 20%, 18%. That's much better than the 30, 40% it was taken earlier. Okay. Now we're cooking with gas now, guys. We're cooking with gas. Oh yeah, we can snap back to a wing view here. But I wanted to complete my story. So essentially what was happening, I never set standard. You guys are not keeping me on my toes here today. How are we looking? 26.9, climbing 350. How's our fuel? 3.4, still perfect. So what I was talking about, there was a Qantas flight that was essentially what happened was the AOA sensor or something like that. It thought it was in a dive. So very similar to, or it thought it was stalling. That's what I meant to say. The airplane thought it was stalling. So naturally it noses over, very similar to how the Max crashes happen. And what the pilots did is he reverted to his training, or his, I don't know if they even taught this back then. They teach it now and you go through it in Airbus school, definitely. But his systems knowledge of the aircraft saved everybody's lives on that airplane. He knew that if he came up here and turned off 2 of the ADRs, you would force the aircraft into direct mode. And basically what happens when you turn off 2 ADRs like this, you now go into a direct law of flight controls, and you now have full control over your airplane, very much like you would expect to have in something conventional, such as a Boeing or something like that. So you can very easily get out of a bad situation with faulty sensors by disconnecting or just turning off 2 ADRs. So that's kind of the written rule there. If the airplane's ever trying to kill you, go ahead and turn off 2 of these bad boys, and now you have direct law, and you can go ahead and recover the airplane, which he did. And like I said, I don't know if they taught that back then, but if he didn't do that, they probably all would have died. It would have been kind of like a Max, just nosedive into the ocean. But he looked back at his systems knowledge and was able to save everybody. So now that's taught in ground school. You learn about that. Learn how to disconnect it really quick if you need to. All right, looks like we're gonna have a smooth ride. Let's go ahead and turn off. Oh my gosh, my game just feels so much smoother.
City Tower, runway 16 left, cleared for takeoff, land 14012.
Seatbelt sign is off. You are now free to move about the cabin. Go ahead and clear these puppies out. She's not climbing very good, but what I'm going to do here, let's go ahead and expedite this climb. I'm going to pull Mach. I'm going to go 7.7. What that's going to do is it's going to increase the climb performance there. We're going to trade a little speed for a little altitude. Go Fly Sim. This is a V1 when you have an ILS. Zulu and Yankee, how do you pick one? It'll be published in the ADIS, Go Fly. So normally the ADIS for that airport will let you know if you need to be taking if you need to shoot the Zulu or Yankee approach. Off the top of my head, Philadelphia comes to mind. I know they do that quite a bit. They have an ILS Zulu and an ILS Yankee. And essentially, the only difference is something in the missed approach. Basically, if they're using 3.5, which is the short runway northbound, then they do one of the, I think they do Zulu. And then if they aren't, if the visibility is too poor that they're not using the 3.5 runway northbound for the smaller commuters, then they run the Zulu or the Yankee, whichever the opposite was. And then it changes the missed approach procedure a little bit. But yeah, you're going to find that in your ADIS when you go to the airport, which one's in use. Yep, Zachary says there was a Qantas 330 from Singapore to Perth. Nice. Dimitri I am says, I replaced Fort Boy, Florida with V-States, Florida, and never looked back? Really? Dimitri, I'm going to have to check this out, man. Make sure, have you already posted some screenshots? Post some screenshots up in the Discord, and I'd really like to take a look. Okay. I'd really like to take a look at that, Dimitri. If you got some screenshots. I love my Fort Boy, Florida. So for me to go to V-States, I got to be convinced. But 20% less space, that sounds pretty good to me. Flight Surgeon says, I have a question for you. If you wanted to switch to another Airbus, like the 330 or 350, how hard would it be for you and how much training would you need? So, Flight Surgeon, you would, in the United States anyway, you would need to be type rated on that aircraft. Even though they're very similar, and Airbus has done a phenomenal job in maintaining the cockpit similarities between all the Airbuses out there, it is a different type rating. So you'd have to go through a type rating school. You're going to have so many days of ground school, and then you're going to have so many simulator sessions, and then you go ahead and take a check ride. So I don't know how hard it would be, because a lot of it, from what I understand, is relatively similar. Now on the newer airplanes like the 350, I'm sure you have some more advanced systems, and then your PFDs and NDs and stuff are going to be a little bit more advanced. I think they have more functions, so you're gonna have to learn that stuff. And then of course the hardest part to me in any aircraft swap and learning a new aircraft certificate is you have to not memorize. Well, you do need to memorize them, but you need to know them, not just rote memorization. Is the limitations. So you get quizzed on all your limitations: your flap speeds, your gross weights for takeoff, your gross landing weights, the altitude single pack operation, APU starter altitude, highest altitude flap extended, maximum minimum runway slope, maximum runway elevation for takeoff. So all those limitations have to be known, and that's the hardest part, I think, in any new type ride or new check ride, because once you learn an airplane, once you learn a commercial aircraft, once you get typed on one, and I'll even go as far back as say, once you learn something like the Embraer 170, a lot of the systems throughout all the airplanes, Airbus, Boeing, McDonnell Douglas, are very similar. A lot of them just have different names and slight tweaks here and there, and you learn, some companies like to do things this way, a little bit different, but it's all basically the same thing. An airplane is an airplane. They all do the same thing. They all take off, they all fly, they all land. So you just have to kind of learn the quirks from the designers and the little differences there. So once you fully understand the mechanics behind one airplane, it's really easier to apply that across the board when you go through training. That's why I say the hardest part is probably learning the specific limitations for that new aircraft.
1 Juliet Alpha, do you have the offshore 2 departure plate on hand?
Ooh, looks like we're leveling off in cruise. Let's go ahead and hop back into the front here. We'll go ahead and manage speed.
A1 or the jet assembly?
How are we looking here? Let's go ahead and type in Oakland.
Alright, so read the departure description. You're not flying the departure procedure quite correctly.
There is Oakland and 53 minutes extra gas, 3.3, 368 miles. Perfect. Seatbelt sign is off.
November 1 Juliet Alpha, turn on setting 200.
New member, Funyun. How's it going, man? Thank you for becoming a member of the channel. Really appreciate it. I'm glad you're enjoying the content. Make sure you check out the community tab on my YouTube page. I post a lot of member-specific stuff there on the community tab. You will also have exclusive content such as the V1 After Dark podcast series, which I'm working on October right now, but September is already out, so if you're a member, you can check that out. But definitely appreciate the support, Funyun. And if you have any specific Q&A questions that you want answered in the podcast, I'm going to be posting here very shortly. I'm going to open up the questions or the Q&A for the commercial pilot members in the community tab. So make sure you get your question in there. I pull straight from that when I record the members only podcast. So thanks again, Funyun. Really appreciate it. Glad to have you aboard, sir. How about a flyby? Dimitri says, you got it, sir. A little bit stuttery on that one. Definitely got the stutters out today. I think we're still having some OBS issues, but hopefully that audio is okay for you guys. I hope I can still hear the radio from the outside view, can I? Sorry guys, I forgot all about the exterior view. Got to take a beautiful look at that wonderful Airbus there. JWC Lano says, V1 Sim, what is your favorite plane to fly in real life? That's a tough question, man. That's a tough question. My favorite plane to fly. Let me think about that.
No, it's not that you turned too early. You turned the wrong heading.
Buki, Alice, new member as well. Thank you so much for joining the channel, man. I hope you were here. I hope you were here for the when I just talked to Funyun about it. But essentially, yeah, check out the community tab. You'll get a lot of member-specific stuff there at the community tab. I'll be posting a Q&A very shortly for the commercial members only for the next podcast. Awesome to have you aboard, man. Thank you for joining the channel. Let's get some positive rates out there for both Funyun and Buki. Really appreciate it. My favorite aircraft, honestly, I really love flying the Airbus. I'd be lying to you if I say that I wasn't a fan of flying the Airbus. But in terms of fun, man, the old turboprops were fun, dude. I really enjoyed flying turboprops around. The most of my time was in a Beech 99, which I kind of... Oh, you haven't seen the episode yet, the episode I'm working on for the turboprop series, but most of my turboprop time comes from the Beech 99 airliner, which is essentially an unpressurized King Air 200, and I have almost over 1,000 hours in that airplane, and that was probably the most fun to fly because you could do so much with it. I love the sound. I love the sound of a PT6 engine, man. You can't beat the sound of a PT6, either from the startup, dropping into beta. It just is fun. It's a blast. And as far as airliners go, I like the Airbus, man. She's fun. Definitely got a nice little crab there, Dougal says. Yes, we do. A little crosswind up here today. Dimitri IM says the Spirit skin is great. I agree. I really like this gray one. I know I think there's two 319s that are still gray for Spirit. The rest are yellow and a few white ones. I didn't like the looks of the yellow ones at first, but now I think it's growing on me a little bit. Uh-oh, we got a big lag here. I think we have a lag. Uh-oh. What's happening? Oh my gosh. What is going on with my computer, man? Alright, back inside. Back inside. That scared me. No lags. Stop that. Pretty nice clouds. What's our temp? Well, we're too cold for any ice to stick. Look at the clouds, though. My goodness. So if you guys are on the fence about flight factor versus TOLUS, this is one of those things where, you know, my PC is starting to hiccup here with this new Streamlabs update and running the flight factor. If I was in the TOLUS right now, I don't think we'd be having any issues, just because that airplane is so much more optimized that performance-wise it's great. So really hoping for that sound pack to drop for the TOLUS here. Let's take a seat on the jump seat here. I also like the jump seat view. Yep. But kind of back to that yellow. Dougal says the yellow is like flying a banana. You know what, Dougal? When you see 5 or 6 yellow planes though next to each other at the terminal, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty cool. Like you see, because you know Southwest always pops out because they're the purple or the canyon blue, I should say, and then almost every other airline is white, at least here in the United States, right? You got Delta is white, American's gray, but that's kind of blah. The let's see, United is white mostly, Frontier is white mostly, Allegiant is white mostly. So you got a lot of white, and when you see, I like solid airplanes. I think it's cool when you have something different. So I like the Southwest, and the yellow has grown on me. I'll say when I first saw it, I wasn't too keen on it. But now it's kind of growing on me when you see them around. And like I said, especially if you fly into Chicago and there's, you know, 4 or 5 Spirit airplanes over there on that that concourse, it pops out, man. That's free advertising for you. But I agree with OnePlus F. I think this has to be the best Spirit skin, the grayscale livery. Flight Surgeon says I'm going to head to bed here. It's late. Good night and have a nice landing. Thank you, Flight Surgeon. Glad you could stop by, man. Dimitri IM says the PT6s are great because they are Canadian. I love the old PT6, man. Do we have any weather add-ons? We are running default weather with Active Sky, and I don't know if maybe Active Sky might be causing some lag because looks like we're getting out of the clouds there finally. That'll release some resources, but no other weather add-ons other than Active Sky. And I use the Active Sky cloud textures. Fyunion says I can't even fly the flight factor on my hardware right now. Looking forward to the Vulcan update. I've been hearing a lot of good stuff about the Vulcan, guys, so I don't know if it'll help me out too much because I think my CPU is pretty much already doing pretty good. From what I gather, I know you guys were talking about it in the Discord. I think you said that it was what, more CPU related, so you get more CPU performance. My limiting factor in X-Plane, guys, is my graphics card. My GPU, I run just a straight up GTX1070, and that thing gets maxed out almost all the time, so that's my limitation. Captain Code, do you fly on VATSIM or IVEO? I'm flying on Project Flight right now. What do you guys think of the new VATSIM stuff? So, I hope I didn't do it wrong. I've got X-Pilot for, what is it? Yeah, for VATSIM. Should I be on Swift instead of X-Pilot? It bothers me, like, how I love Pilot Edge, man. It's so easy and it sounds so good. I'm still wrapping my head around this whole VATSIM thing, but yeah, I've been using X-Pilot recently. But then somebody said I should try Swift instead because it's more customizable. But I don't know what I need to customize. Charlie, check this. He says, gotta go, guys. Bye. I'll take it easy, man. Alberto Delgadillo says I would pay whatever the price may be to ride jump seat if possible. Zach Garbert, any visual weather mods? No, just Active Sky and the high definition Active Sky cloud textures by default. Whatever Active Sky allows you to pick from by default, that's what I'm running. I should position the camera. This looks too good. That looks pretty good. Look at that airport down there. I hope I didn't lose contact with this controller. Daniel Smith says, I'm running a GTX 1050 Ti under the minimum required hardware for X-Plane 11. Uh-oh. JCP123 says VATSIM is much better and XPilot is much better. Really? You think VATSIM is better than Pilot Edge? BKG says you need the latest XPilot, I think, for best compatibility and non-bugginess. Okay, so that's what I do have. I downloaded the latest XPilot, and I think what I'll probably do is I'm probably going to do another test flight tonight on... I won't be streaming it or anything, but I'm going to do an XPilot flight, and then hopefully the next couple streams we're going to be headed over to Europe in the 320. We're going to have to take off out of Dallas first, though. We're going to have to go Dallas, probably to New York somewhere. That's going to be a long one. We might do a stop in Atlanta, and then Atlanta to the East Coast, and then we're going to have to figure out how to go from the East Coast all the way to Europe in the 320. Maybe we'll stop up there in Iceland. Any good Iceland scenery? GoFly Sim says I was on Swift and changed to XPilot. Alright, that's good to know. Funyun. XPilot is excellent. I tried Swift, but it's way too complicated for what should be a simple application. That, I agree 100%, man. That's kind of my thing with this VATSIM thing is the Swift, it's just, I was looking at the, you know how it has a page, you can download whatever plugin you want. I looked at Swift and I was like, that looks extremely complicated. Pilot Edge is very easy to use and it's very realistic. Even the flight plan filing form, very realistic. There we go with another lag out. What's going on here in this external view?
Spirit range 424, contact Oakland Center 132.905.
132.905, Spirit range 424. 132.905.
Delay, Center, United 1495, 340.
At 1495, Salt Lake City Center, roger.
Alright guys, I'm going to, before I check in with this controller, I'm going to run to the lav real quick. So give me about a minute or two. I'm going to run to the lav, drink a little bit too much coffee here. Let's call up the forward flight attendant.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Hey, could you set up a lav break for me? Yes, we can. Alright, I'll be right back, guys. Alright, we're back. Let's check in with this guy. Oakland, good afternoon. Spirit Wings 424, level 350.
Spirit range 424, Oakland Center, roger.
Alright, we are level 34, 258 miles. We got to start getting ready to set up for our descent here. I'm going to go ahead and enlarge this screen here, and we're going to flip on down. Forgotten the passengers. How's it going, man? Good to have you here. Missed a couple chats there. Ooh, man, look at the weather when it cleared out. It looks so much better. Dimitri IM says Slam Cannon has the Keflavik Airport and he loves it. Really? Alright. Let's take a look at our arrival here. I'm going to go plan mode. We are in constraint mode. And I want to zoom in a little bit. I'll pull up my chart here on my iPad so I can see, cross-check all the fixes here for the arrival. Looks like our first restriction is starting at Hubert. Actually, no, Spammy. Spammy should have a restraint on it. So this is interesting. We've got... I want to delete that Spammy. Insert. And then we're going to delete this disco here. There we go. Alright, that looks better. I had 2 Spammies. Don't know why. Because he was spamming my arrival. My dog is trying... Oh, my dog is trying to break out of the cockpit. Hold on, one sec. Probably why dogs aren't allowed on airplanes. Alright, so we've got Spammy, 280 knots, between 24 and 26,000. Hubert, below 230. Windsor, 220 above 16 at 280 knots. Then we have Weber, below 13 above 9. Boys, 7,000. Hopta, 5,000. And then we're going to branch off, and I am anticipating runway 30. So for runway 30 transition, we're going to go all the way out to Alex, which bottoms out 5,000 feet, 210 knots. So if we get a descend via, we're going to set 5,000 there in the bottom. So our flight plan looks good. Nothing to hard tune in the rad nav. I'm going to go ahead and put Oakland runway 30. Oops. Already had that in there. Oakland 30 in the prog page. GPS primary, nav accuracy is high. Perf data, let's look at our descent. We're going to go ahead and set 300. We're going to do 7.9 and 300 because our first restriction is at 280. I don't want to be going 340. It's going to just cause issues. QNH for Oakland right now. Wind calm, 10 miles. Few at 1,000, broken at 10,000. Wow, beautiful day in the Bay Area. Altimeter is 3004. Temperature is a 14. Wind is 040. All right. Pulling out the approach for runway 30. We have an MDA for straight in ILS of 209. Perfect. Approach data is set. There's our flap speeds and go around if we need it. 51 minutes extra gas. I'll go ahead and copy the active. I'll send for numbers via 8s. Atsu there. Landing performance data is... Alright, we're in an Airbus A320. We're going to do low brakes, flaps full reverse. And let's go ahead and verify our approach. So we're going to have 108.7 auto tune. Final approach course will be 296 degrees, which can be seen right down here in the box. Glide slope capture is at Mito, 2,000 feet. The DA is 209. That should be popped up here. I talked about that before. 250 miles. That should pop up here. 209 is the MDA. Touchdown zone for runway 30 is 9 feet. We have 2 sector altitudes, the highest being off to the east with some terrain out there, 5,100 feet, 3,800 out to the west. If we have to go mist, we're going to go straight out 600 feet, followed by a climbing left turn to 4,000, intercept the SAU 110 radial, and hold over Sausalito. We got Papes on the left, Alsif 2 lighting. the VGSI and the ILS glide path are not coincident. The VGSI angle is at 3 degrees with a threshold crossing height of 71 feet. So we're not going to chase the VGSI. We're going to just follow the glide slope down. We might go, and then if we capture it, we'll follow the VGSI. It just depends on how it looks when we get down there. But we know it's non-coincident, so if we get a glide slope warning and we're following the pappies, no harm, no foul. Let's do a flyby view again here. Hopefully we don't get any crashes. It seems to be smoothing out. That performance mode in Streamlabs really helped, but I think I really need, oh boy, it's doing it again. I don't know why it's reloading on me all the time. That's pretty cool right there. All right, back to the chat. I missed a lot of it. Let me get some of the chat, and I'll try to get right back up to the current chat state. Mr. DeathKid09 says, I have a question about the 320. What's the retractable thing above the pedals? Retractable thing above the pedals. Those are the pedal adjustment. You're talking about right between your feet. You can adjust the pedals with that tab. If you're not talking about that, you might be talking about the tray table, which is retractable. That folds out from the dash. Dougal says, nowhere else on YouTube can we learn more on buses. Smash that like button, guys. Appreciate it, Dougal. Slam cannon. Let me out of here. Yeah. Poor dogs. Yeah, apart from guide dogs. We do allow guide dogs on airplanes. Daniel Smith says, wow, Czech ATC is coming back to VATSIM. LKPR, LKAA coverage on VATSIM. A bloody miracle if you ask me. Nice. I would be, I'm a little embarrassed. I don't know what LKAA airport is. I'm off on my ICAO codes.
Wings 424, descend at pilot's discretion to maintain flight level 240, on report leaving flight level 350.
Pilot's discretion 240, roll report leaving 350, Spare Wings 424. All right, we got a PD clearance now. So what I'm going to do here, top of descent calculated is at 61. We try to do our maximum efficiency here on the descent. So what we do, we call them TIDs or thrust idle descents. So the Airbus is calculated here is pretty much a thrust idle descent, but it only works if I start at, you know, the descent point, which is about 60 miles away. Our procedure, what I do is I go 5 miles prior, I'll go ahead and start the descent down. Now, if we were getting bumped around here or something, or if there was turbulence, then I'd go ahead and start down early. But he gave us a PD clearance, which is pilot's discretion, so we're just going to hold off here. We'll try to keep that thrust at idle as much as we can, all the way down on the descent. Save maximum fuel. Oh, beating the odds. I was wondering when somebody is going to ask me this question. What do you think about the new upcoming Microsoft Flight Simulator? All right. That's a loaded question. Real quick, I saw Roger Moore. He posted an Airbus question. Let me get to that real quick. He says, hey, V1, can I ask, when I leave Lowe in Austria following a SID, the bus can't turn fast enough to follow the box. It drifts off, and I have to select direct the next way point to go back on plan. All right, two things could be happening, Roger Moore. Make sure that your speed is proper for the turn. If you have a quick turn out and you're doing 250 knots or whatever you're doing, you may be too fast. Your turning radius is going to be increased. I believe there is a speed restriction. It looks like Dimitri just came in and said 210 knots. So possibly, yeah, 210 knots would help you do that. Donation. Dougal coming in a $5 bomb. He says, treats for Stan and his friends. Thanks, Dougal. I appreciate it, man. Old Stanley boy, he appreciates that. I'll get him some... Oh, I already screwed up. I said the T-R-E-A-T word, so now he's looking at me. I'm thinking... You know, I was thinking about a face cam, but I think I'm going to scratch that idea, and I'm just going to do Stanley cam. I'm going to dress him up in a little FO uniform, and then I'll just put the camera over on his dog bed. But, because I mean, Beagles are... I think they originated in Europe, right? So... Yeah, the English, I think, was where they came from, so he'll feel right at home. Old Stanley. Thank you, Dougal. Appreciate it. So, Roger Moore, yes, I would, first off, I would check your speed. Make sure you're going slow enough to make the turn. If not, make sure that the airplane is, the box is set up correctly. Like, make sure you're supposed to be going from certain point A to point B, because if you're supposed to have maybe like a runway heading or something and you just connected the box and it has an immediate turn, that may be causing an issue too. But I would start with speed. I do know sometimes, you know, out of Los Angeles, just this happened to me on my last trip, we took off westbound 25s, I think it was, yeah, 25, and they give us an immediate direct to a fix right behind us. I can't remember what the fix is called. And the airplane will draw, you know, this really tight turn, but we're already accelerated at 250, so it's not uncommon to see the airplane drift out, you know, half mile or so in that circumstance. But in Lowy, I would imagine that that track is actually really restrictive. So off the top of my head, without even looking at the approach, I would assume that it has something to do with speed on your departure. Keep that speed down and keep climbing instead of accelerating, and you should be able to make any restrictions out of Lowy. As far as Flight Simulator 2020 goes, guys, you know what? I'm not going to lie. At first, I thought, okay, here we go. It's going to be, what was it, Flight all over again 2.0. After seeing all the YouTubers come out and with their data of them, their videos of them flying the new sim, it looks pretty freaking sweet. And I started to actually really start drinking the Kool-Aid and believe the hype train. But I keep seeing more and more promises of, yes, we're going to do this, yes, we're going to do this. It's almost to the point now where I'm almost thinking it might be too good to be true. And I say that not in a negative way. Like, don't get me wrong. I want, if Microsoft Flight, or if, yeah, what is it, not Microsoft Flight, if Flight Sim 2020 is going to be, in fact, everything that they say it's going to be, then I am super excited. But when they start saying that it is going to be everything that it's going to be, I also get a little nervous because I'm like, okay, you guys are promising the world to us here pretty much. Are you sure you can deliver? And I mean, they got the financial ability to deliver it, so I don't see why not. I don't want to overhype myself, but I tell you what, man, it is one beautiful looking simulator. And at the very least, you know, maybe they won't have any airliners initially, so we can use X-Plane for airliner flying, but GA flying or turboprop flying, low altitude stuff, I don't think you're going to be able to fly at low altitude in X-Plane anymore after flying low altitude in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, just from what I've seen. And then if they can somehow get, you know, some really high-tech 3D, or not 3D, some really high-tech third-party developers out there, I don't know, man. It could be the best thing since sliced bread, but it could also be a bunch of empty promises too. So I'm trying to keep my hype meter down because it's very easy to just get sucked straight into the hype and think it's going to be the best thing ever. But who knows? We have to see, guys. We have to wait and see. I signed up for their Tech Alpha. I haven't heard anything. I'd love to help them work on an Airbus if they were doing it.
Los Angeles Center, citation 211 Juliet, Alpha, flight level 270.
All right, we're 17
Number
miles
211 Juliet,
out.
up here with Oakland Center, got the wrong frequency.
JCP123 says I wouldn't be opposed to the dog cam idea. Stan is a great name for a Beagle. Yep, old Stanley.
Frequency you were with to get the right one.
Dimitri says, sorry, Cap, I'll refrain from answering Airbus questions. No, don't be sorry, Dimitri. You guys have been around long enough. You've got a lot of knowledge. That's what I'm teaching it for. If you know the answer, man, shoot, spit it out. You know, no need to be sorry. But yeah, you were right. You were right. It's probably a speed issue coming out of Lowy.
3320.
All right, here's about 10 prior, so I'm going to go ahead and push for manage. Go to below mode. And Oakland, Spirit Wings 424, vacating 350 for 240.
Spirit Wings 424 under.
All right, let's go ahead and turn the seatbelt sign on. If I can do it from here. Nope. There we go. Down we go, guys. That is a pretty sweet view there. There it is. My goodness. Mystic Rebel says if you activate the approach passing 10,000, what is the best time to press the approach button and when would you use the lope button? I don't really understand the lope during approach. Thank you for the subscription there, DJ Aviator. Glad you're enjoying the content, man. So, after passing 10,000, activate approach phase. Make sure you're at selected speed because now you're going to be in control of your speed with the MCP, right? So you're going to set 250, 210, whatever you want to do. You're going to press the approach button.
Airways 424, contact Oakland Center 132.2.
132.2 is Airways 424. You're going to press the approach button when you're clear for the approach. You're going to press the localizer button if you get cleared to intercept the localizer or you're on a localizer approach. Other than that, you're always going to press the approach push button. So if they say intercept the localizer, which sometimes they do, like going into Los Angeles, they'll do that, intercept the localizer, which basically that's a lateral clearance. They want you to comply with the lateral deviation, but they don't want you to do any vertical deviation. So when you're cleared approach, that means you can descend via the glide slope or whatever's on your approach. If you're cleared to intercept the localizer, that's when you press the lope button, and it's just going to do localizer or lateral intercept. Oakland Center, good morning. Spirit Wings 424. We are 33.3, descending flight level 240.
Airways 424, Oakland Center, good morning, Oakland, altimeter 3004, descend via the Windsor 2 arrival.
Descend via the Windsor 2, 3004, Spirit Wings 424, thanks. Descend via, so we talked about that, guys. We're going to bottom out at Alex, which is 5,000 feet, so I can go ahead and set 5,000 feet here. 5,000 is blue. This little squiggly line here, that is our VNAV intercept. So you can see I started down 5 prior, right? So the airplane is a little bit ahead of itself, so what it does is it descends at 1,000 feet per minute until intercepting the VNAV path. The VNAV path is indicated by that squiggly arrow. Now we've reached thrust idle, and you're going to see the descent rate pick up. Here's our vertical deviation donut. That's going to center up right here, and we are going to be on a VNAV descent, complying with all the restrictions down into Oakland. Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, your captain speaking. About 135 miles out from Oakland International Airport. It's a beautiful day down there, 72 degrees, clear skies and calm winds. Aircraft will be on the ground here just about another 25 minutes. Seatbelt sign will remain on for the duration of the flight. We do ask that you remain seated until the aircraft arrives safely at the gate. On behalf of this Dallas-based flight crew, we want to be the first to welcome you into Oakland. Flight attendants, please prepare for landing. Wojtek CYVR, he says, hi, I love your content. I have a technical question, which I dropped on technical help on your Discord. Thanks. Wojtek, thank you so much, man, for your support. It's $5 super chat bomb. He says, I have a technical question on your Discord. So you want me to see if I can pull it up here real quick. Is it an Airbus question? Maybe I can answer it here for you on the descent. Okay, he says, good day. I had a failure on the 319 yesterday, and I had to fly the whole trip manually. Interesting. I just wonder if that was my fault or Airbus was acting up. First, just after takeoff, my route line changed to a dashed one. Autopilot was not working, heading was not working, auto trim was consistently trimming up shortly after takeoff. I had overspeed messages, and McDo had message, no nav intercept. Do you have any idea with a failure like that? So did you have any failures, Wojtek, or what was the failure? Did you get an ECAM? If you have a dashed line like that in your route, that tells me that there's something that's not been input correctly, or there's some it's in modification mode. So if I were to bring up, like let's say I wanted to delete Windsor, you see how it goes into this dashed yellow line here? That means that the modification is active and you need to either insert and confirm or erase and confirm, and then it goes back to a straight line. So the dashed line tells me something was not input properly in the McDo. It is possible that maybe you had some type of FMGC failure, which it would be hard for me to diagnose just from that question. I'd have to see what was going on. But the dashed line to me tells me that something was not properly set up or something had failed in your MCDU that was causing the airplane to think it was in a different mode. Maybe it was like in takeoff, or maybe something must have been happening. So I wish I had a better answer for you, but without seeing any of the data or what really happened, it's hard for me to diagnose that question. I haven't experienced anything like that yet in the TOLUS, so I'm leaning to the fact that perhaps there was maybe a small hiccup in the programming that led to strange behavior. But I'm sorry you had to fly it manually like that. That could be, that's a pain, man. Hopefully it won't happen again. But if it is a failure, I mean, that keeps us on our toes, right? I like failures. All right, oh, yes, look at this view right here. Batavia mod, hard at work, looking good. The gray on gray. Death Valley. I don't know, is this Death Valley? No, it's not Death Valley. What's the name of this valley over here? Is that Clear Lake? I think that's... No, I think we're too far north for Clear Lake. I forget which lake that is. Roger Moore says, Microsoft had just posted Alpha 1 acceptance emails, 15 through 24. Well, I haven't gotten it yet. That's sad. Dimitri IM says, let me just say I had some conversation with the industry folks in Europe. They were very skeptical about Microsoft 2020, all I'm going to say. You know, Dimitri, I hate to be... you know, not a non-believer, but I'm leaning towards skepticism at this point. And like I said, I've kind of varied. Initially, I was skeptical, and then I saw all this footage coming out from, you know, Flight Deck Sim went over there. What's the other? Frugal Sim, he was over there, and he posted videos, and that made me believe, okay, this is going to be the best thing ever. But then I keep hearing, oh, we're going to have full third-party development. We're going to have. I don't know. It's almost, I'm at that point now where everything sounds so good. I'm trying to keep my hype meter down. Now, like I said, if it does turn out to be everything that they promised, then I don't know why we would need any other sim. But I have to see for a fact that it is, you know, everything that they promised. So I'm still going to kind of reserve my thoughts, but from the VFR flying that those guys did out there on the on their streams, like Flight Deck to Sim, Frugal Sim, I think there was a few more that I can't think off the top of my head. The sim looks fantastic, and GA stuff looks great. The way that they're modeling aerodynamics, everything looks great. But I mean, this doesn't look great. How does this not look great either, too? Jeez, that looks good. Igu77 says, I'm happy that the devs of Flight Sim 2020 announced they will implement VR support at some point. Thanks for the great stream. Well, thank you, IGU77. I don't do VR yet, or I don't think I'll ever do VR just because, I don't know, I enjoy being able to look around, look at my dog. I like to drink bourbon, you guys know that. So if I'm in a VR headset, who knows, my wife might come stab me in the jugular and I'm not even, you know, it's an opportunity for her to kill me, so... Also makes me nervous. Just joking. Kind of. Wojtek says I recorded my flight. Well, man, if you get a short clip or something, post it in the Discord, or post a link to the if you have a YouTube or something. If there's some way I can see it, put a link in the Discord and I will take a look at it. Maybe I can diagnose it from there. All right, we are entering some clouds. Let's go back inside here. This controller is. He's actually been really good today, but he can get frustrated quickly, so I don't want to do anything wrong, which I shouldn't want to do anything wrong anyway, so I want to be extra sharp with him, keep him happy, so I'm going to make sure the airplane is doing what it's supposed to be told. 280 knot restriction. We're in the econ descent window here, which is a sloppy 280 knots, but it is complying. We're below 22,000, above 16 for Windsor, so we are looking good. Yeah, you guys heard me right. Bourbon. Bourbon made me do it. That's that emoji right there. It's kind of hard to read. But, you know, if you watch the, what was it, the night landing LaGuardia, after about 4 or 5 bourbons, I tried to park the Airbus at the gate. Oh, my gosh. It was comical. BKJ says I'm a Scotch guy at heart, though. Scotch is good, too. Iosco says, what APs did you study? Are you talking about like advanced placement courses? I don't know if I took any AP stuff, man. I was pretty standard. I took AP chemistry when I was in high school. I think that was about the only AP class I took. Everything else was pretty standard. All right, 19.5. He told us it was 30.04. Let's go ahead and dial that in here. 30.04 on the meter. Set once. Set twice. Set 3 times. What is the ATs? Because they're going to want an ATIS code. So I need to dial up. The ATIS was 3377. I don't think I can pull this up on COM2. I've had issues on COM2 in the flight factor on Pilot Edge. Let's try 30. Let's go ahead and try to get the camera in position first. 133.77. My wife just went for a run. That's why the dog is barking now. So VHF2, we'll turn that up. Negative COM2. So I've had that. I don't know why that is, but when we switch over to approach, I will switch to ATIS, pick up the ATIS code, and then check in with the approach controller. 17.5. We're descending via. Seatbelts are on. We're about to go into some clouds. We're minus 8C. Yeah, let's go ahead and fire it up. Dimitri says the marshalers at LaGuardia liked your bourbon too. I'm sure they did, man. Same with the whatever gate was next to me. I'm pretty sure I ran into that airplane. Dougal, you seem to be everywhere, Peely says. I know, Dougal's everywhere, man. I saw Dougal up late last night on X-Plane 1972 stream as well. Yeah, BKG, I hear an anxious dog. Hopefully he'll calm down here in a second. It's because Mama left the house for a minute. All right, 15.9. We're descending below 13 at Weber. Ice is on. Let's go ahead and run an approach checklist. Briefing's complete. ECAM status is checked. Seatbelts on. Minimums 209 set. Engine and ice 1 and 2. That is on for now. Altimeters 3004 set. Passing 15.2. That checks. Approach checklist is completed. There we go, breaking through the cloud layer there.
Wings 424, contact NorCal approach 135.1.
35.1, Spirit Wings 424, we'll see it. Alright, 35.1, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go 35.1 here. And then we're going to go 33.77. And we're going to get the ATIS.
28 left, 28 right, 3033. Visual approaches in use. ILS runway 28 right at ILS runway 30 approach in use. VFR departures, contacts, clearance, delivery. Advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Oscar.
Oscar.
Point 3, squawk 4242.
I guess we're kind of in and out of the clouds. I'll leave it on there for a minute until we get a little bit lower. Alright, so we have information, Oscar. BKG asked there's no way to get digital ATIS on Pilot Edge. No, I wish there was a way to get like an ACARS ATIS, you know, because I can pull it up here on my iPad and stuff, but I don't know the ICAO code for it that Pilot Edge wants. So, what did I say it was? Oh, shoot. Was it Charlie?
30 approach in use. VFR departures,
I forget, what was it?
Clearance, delivery.
Charlie, Sierra?
On course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Oscar.
Oscar, I was way off. NorCal approach, good morning. Spirit Wings 424. We're 12.4 descending via The winds are windy too with Oscar.
Spirit 424 NorCal approach, Roger, thanks for Oscar. Expect visual approach, runway 30, altimeter 3004.
3004, we'll expect a visual to 30, Spirit 424. All right, as briefed, guys, 11.8 descending 10,000 feet here. Let's go ahead and get the little mini speed brakes out there. I'm going to go ahead and select 210 knots. Actually, let's go select 250 for right now. And I'm going to activate confirm the approach phase. Now, our speed restriction at the bottom of the star is 210. So that's kind of a got you. If you use this method of descending out of 10,000, activating the approach phase, this is how we do it where I work. This is our procedures. You have to be careful if you have any more speed restrictions at the end of your arrival that you adjust the speed manually. Now, more often than not, you're probably going to get a speed restriction from ATC anyway in real life. So it's kind of why we just activate and confirm at 10,000, because it's very common to be vectored off the arrival or given a different restriction than what's already published. But if you were to leave this in managed mode, it would slow to 210 over here, as long as your decel point was after the next fix. So it's kind of confusing, but to keep it standard, we activate confirm at 10,000 feet, and then if there's any other speed restrictions, just manually dial it in. So we're going to have to dial in 210 here as we get close to Alex, which is down there at the bottom. All right, we are still in icing conditions, so we got the heats on. Let's say, hey, we were picking up some ice. Let's say we were looking out the window here and we saw that this was accumulating ice. I'll go ahead and throw the wing heats on for a little bit. Normally the wing heat doesn't come on unless we really start to significantly pick up some ice. Also, we want to make sure the wing heat is off at the final approach fix inbound, because you can have issues reaching your go-around performance if you have the wing bleeds on. So if you heat up the wings with the wing heat, which I just did, let me find the right view for you. The only thing that's heated with the wing heat are the 3 outboard slats. That's it. Inboard is not, pylon is not. It's only the 3 outboard slats with that wing heat. But that does take a lot of performance away from the engine, so it bumps the idle up a little bit too. So we got the wing heats on, turn them off at the final approach fix. This wing will stay hot enough that you can shoot the approach and you won't have any issues. There is no heat on the vertical stab or the horizontal stab. The Airbus just does not accumulate ice aerodynamically back here. That's a great shot right there coming in. Man, that looks beautiful. I love this livery. I'm going to have to fly it more. But yeah, there is no ice elements on the tail. Just a fun fact. We'll go ahead and turn the wings off. We're still scattered. We'll leave the pitot heats on for now, or the engine heats. The pitot heats are automatic.
United 1495, contact Oakland Center 127.45.
All right. BKG says, I agree. Dimitri, a lot of streamers are terrible at monitoring chat, including me sometimes. Yeah, I'm trying to be better at it, guys. Like this one, I'm still a little bit behind, but I have a hard time balancing between trying to read everybody's comment to just staying as close to real time as I can with you guys. What do you prefer? Would you rather see a streamer try to answer all the comments? I know once you get, into hundreds of people viewing, then that's almost impossible to do. But, with lower loads, I don't even know how many people are viewing right now, but you want to see me try to read as many as possible or just stay current? Smitty in the house, double striper. He says, good day, sir. Smitty, good to see you here, man. Glad you can join. We're just on our approach into Oakland, California in a lovely A320, courtesy of Spirit Airlines. Dimitri IM says, come on, people, 118 watching and only 54 likes. Let's get that to 100 likes. Oh, yeah. We do. Yeah, we should get 100 likes, guys, because I have one dude that goes around. I don't know who it is. He dislikes every single one of my videos, no matter what it put. He even disliked the Bahama relief flight where we raised like $500 to give to the Bahamas. He disliked that video. I don't know who it is, but there's, you're not going to make everybody happy. So 100 likes to wipe out his one dislike. I'm sure he'll dislike it at some point. Tal says, what age did I start flight training? I started at my 13th birthday, man. That's when I went for my first discovery flight. But shortly after high school, I went right into full-time, every single day flying and training. But I did fly sporadically. I soloed before I had my driver's license. So I started early. But I believe, when I was a flight instructor, the average student pilot age, believe it or not, was mid-30s, low 30s. That was like the average age for starting flight training. I don't know what it is now. Oh, we got San Fran off the right-hand side. Let's see if we can hop over. Oops, wrong wing.
Wings 424, contact NorCal approach 135.65.
3565, Spare Wings 424. Just like in real life, whenever you want to do something, ATCs ask you to change. Approach, good morning, Spare Wings 424, 6.1 descending via the Windsor 2.
Spare Wings 424, NorCal approach, roger, open altimeter 3003.
3003, Spare Wings 424, and we have Oscar.
Alright, information pop as current, doesn't look like much has changed. Altimeter 3003, winds are calm.
Copy that, thanks, Spare Wings 424. Alright, 3003 in the box now, not a big difference here. We'll just go ahead and drop that down. Crisis averted, 3003, we're going to live. Alright, here comes our bottom altitude, hop to 5,000.
Monterey Tower, wind calm, runway 28 right, cleared for takeoff.
Look at that, guys. Shot of the bay. We're over Oakland. Wow, I just yelled into the microphone, sorry. Golden Gate Bridge is over here. That's pretty sweet. Look at the stoplights down here. Woo. Dougal says, you answer most questions, but it will get tougher as you go. Yeah, I know, man. I try to get as many questions as I can. I try to prioritize, Airbus questions when you guys pop in the questions about Airbus specifically. Gaming just says YouTube dislikes don't mean anything anyways. Yeah, I hear you. Albiltra says, that's why I type as low as possible. I want to be considerate to the simmers since I don't own one. Right. Wojtek says, I had issues yesterday with likes. I selected on and a few seconds later it changed back. Really? Interesting. Micah04 says, Cat 3 just did a Cat 3 landing and the RWR was less than 500 RA. Nice. I think we can go down to 300, 300, 300 RVR. Captain Elks, does descend via mean that you just go manage descent and the aircraft will handle all restrictions? If not, what is it? Descend via, no, descend via means it's a clearance. So it means you are to descend via your arrival, complying with altitude and speed restrictions. So if you have the airplane set up properly, then yes, it will comply with everything. If it's set up properly and you're not flying with like an 80 knot tailwind and a heavy 321 or something like that. So, but a descend via, all that is a clearance. That means you must comply with all the restrictions. Like right here, we're going to slow to 210, and now we'll be considered descended via. Now, we started a descend via at 24,000. Had he said descend and maintain 10,000, what I could have done is just went open descent and ignored all the RNAV, VNAV restrictions on the arrival. I could have just went straight down to 10,000, go 340 knots. So the difference between descend and descend via, it's a clearance issued to you by air traffic control to comply with the restrictions.
15 Julia Golf, turn transponder on, contact.
All right, here's 210. We're VFE next, minus 10. Let's go flaps 1. Oh yeah. Look at those slats dropping out. So there's your outboard 3 slats that are going to be heated. Beautiful. Beautiful. No flaps with flaps 1, you just get slats. All right, after Carson, we're expecting a vector. I got some cloud layers here, though. Hopefully he'll vector us for the ILS. Austin 279, was it your dream to be a pilot as a kid? Yes, it was, actually, man. Ever since I was a little kid, I knew I wanted to fly. I didn't know what exactly. My initial dream was to be a medevac pilot, or, you know, fly helicopters. I thought that would be so cool to do medevac. Another donation coming. Blake Renton said just tip $5. He says, thank you for all of your videos. Thank you, Blake. Really appreciate your support, man. Thank you for supporting the channel.
Standby mode.
Glad you're enjoying the content, man. You guys are awesome. So, yeah, I wanted to fly medevac first, and then, you know, things started changing, and I was pretty blessed in my career, you know, with the opportunities that I was given. I stayed civilian the whole time, and ended up where I am now, so I'm happy with it.
Spearwings 424, turn right, heading 200, descend and maintain 4,000.
Right turn 200, descend and maintain 4,000, Spearwings 424. All right, 200 on the heading, so let's get that turn first. We're in heading mode. 4,000, open descent. Thrust idle, open descent. We're going to cycle the box here, guys. You guys should remember how to do this, right? Direct fix. Wavian 117. Insert. Reselect heading. So now we have a nice clean box there. This blue dash line is the missed approach. But we have a nice clean intercept now. I'm going to go ahead and slow back to 180 knots.
And just with my cheater method, I can still see you're even on a VFR code. I'm not sure if there's a disconnect between the transponder and our network.
No, it's something with my sim hardware. I'm trying to troubleshoot it real quick. Do you have anybody else in Monterey?
Negative.
Slow it up to 180
pause
knots.
this in for a second, see if I can take it.
Yeah, you're fine.
Look at that. That's
424 to set and maintain 3,000.
Set and maintain 3,000. Spearwings 424. 3,000 is blue. VFE next minus 10. Let's go flaps 2. Oh, yes. I'm loving that sound. You hear the hydraulics straining as the flaps go out. 20 degrees, so you can indicate it here by the flap. Retract that speed brake.
Spearwings 424, turn right, heading 280.
Right turn 280, Spearwings 424. .280 on the heading there. Let's go. Tower Freak is going to be for 30 is 27.2. Let's put that in the standby. So we're at flaps 280 knots.
424, turn right, heading 290, the airport 12 o'clock, 10 miles. Report when you have in sight.
290 on the heading. We're intermittent with clouds here. Can we get an approach clearance? We can do it from there, I think.
Can you get an approach clearance? Where you're expecting a visual approach, I can get you down to 2,300. Spearwings 424 to set and maintain 2,000, actually 2,700, airport 12 o'clock and 9 miles.
Roger, I understand we're expecting a visual, but when we're in the clouds, I can't accept a visual approach clearance, so I was asking for an ILS clearance, but we'll descend 2,700 feet. We just broke out of the layer now. Cleared ILS 30, Spearwings 424.
Spearwings 424, you can't clear yourself for a visual approach. I can do that for you, however. And just keep in mind, when I'm putting you on a vector for a visual approach, especially this close to a runway, getting you on an instrument approach that quickly a lot of times is unable because you're already at the final approach fix, which I can't put you on an approach to the final approach fix. You are cleared visual approach runway 30. In contact Oakland Tower 127.2.
All right, 27.2 over to Tower, Spearwings 424. I'm not going to argue with that guy, but I mean, I can't accept a visual clearance like that when I'm in the clouds. So, I'm going to go ahead and descend a little bit more because this is a
right code, but not an altitude mode.
This is a bad vector here. We're going to have to switch over and we'll just do it manually. Auto thrust is off. Gears coming down. Manage speed. Let me get my camera set up. VFE next minus 10 flaps 3. Tower Spearwings 424, visual runway 30.
2,500.
Spirit Wings 424 Oakland Tower, runway 30 cleared to land, wind calm.
30 clear to land, Spirit Wings 424.
United 1495, descend a pile.
VFNX minus 10, flaps 3, or flaps full, I should say. So we would have had, I mean, if he would have just, if I said, you know, even though we're expecting a visual, you could still give somebody an approach clearance to get them down below the clouds. We would have had time to make it. Like, we're going to get on out here, no problem. We're a little bit high, but yeah, this guy likes to argue.
And 15 Juliet Golf, my opinion on you has not changed even through this whole process, if you can imagine that. But radar contact now at 14 miles west of Salinas. Altitude indicates 4,000. Climb and maintain 7,000.
Because they're not going to give you a go around because you're not cleared for a visual. So, like, in that situation, they would have just said, okay, you're cleared to set and maintain 2700, cleared ILS runway 30. And if I couldn't make that happen, then it would be on the flight crew to do a go around. So I don't know why he's doing that, but I mean, whatever. All right, we're slowly catching the path here. Manual thrust, everything's off, down to land. Cabin check, spoilers arm, cabin signs blue, because I'm not going to hit that little fat panel thing. But we are cleared to land, so I should turn this light off.
Would you like it from the Salinas floor?
Alright, we're back on the slope.
Number 15 Juliet Golf, turn right, heading 090. Let's go vectors Hixar. I'll see if I can get you straight in.
Thank you for the subscribe there.
400.
Wow, we got high instantly there. We'll drop back down to it. Alright, we're back on the Pappies now.
Minimum.
That's that non-coincident glide slope. A little bit high still. Still working it down.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard, 20, 10, 5.
Floated out, holy floaties. Spoilers, reverse green. Diesel. 70 knots. Take the next turn off.
424, contact Oakland ground on 121.75.
0.75 is running 424. Alright, we are going to disengage the brakes. I should just disconnect from Pilot Edge so I don't have to listen to this guy give me some wonky clearance. We got to go all the way to the end here. Yeah, we missed our turn off. I was trying to make Whiskey 5. I probably should have got on the brakes a little bit harder. But let's go ahead and exit the runway down here at the end. He wanted to give you less. So what happened was, he gave me a visual approach clearance, and I didn't have the airport in sight because I was in the clouds. So I said, we don't have it in sight. Can you give us a approach clearance, you know, like for the ILS, because then I can just follow the glide slope down. And he said, no, when you're expected for a visual approach, blah, 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 I can't give you that. I'm like, well, yes, you can. If you give me that approach clearance and then I can't get the aircraft to be stable within, you know, whatever your company procedures are, then it's on the flight crew to have to do a go around. But we were still outside of the final approach fix. We were at 3,000. It was 300 feet different, or like what, 500 feet different, or we were at 2,700 and he wanted, and 2,500 was final approach fix. So surely he could have just been like, all right, you're cleared for the approach. You know, you're cleared ILS, start left, center, maintain 2,500. That's all he should have done. But he wanted to go toot his horn and be like, yada, yada, yada. I'm just going to go ahead and disconnect anyway because I don't feel like looking at a taxi chart and talking to this guy. But I'll have to watch the replay too. I'm pretty sure he gave us a clearance first And then we had our spat, and then I said, okay, I have it in sight now. I'll clear it for the visual. And then he said, well, you can't clear yourself for the visual. What I didn't. You cleared me for the visual earlier. So I don't know. That guy just likes to argue, I think. I mean, it was a great flight all the way up until that point, and then he got me all riled up for the landing there. There's definitely no butters on that one. But let's go ahead and shut this stuff off. Get the APU fired up. Bug Eater Simpson says, wow, I thought I wasn't going to finish my flight in time to get to your channel. Late, but finally here. Bug Eater, glad you can make it, man. Although we just had not the best of landings for sure. We had a little spat with the controller. And here I am, I'm all riled up now. I'm taxing with my freaking lights on. But, yeah, that was crap. So let me look at the approach chart here. So we were outside of Wuvon. Wuvon was 2,700. The sequence of events in my head was this. He cleared me for visual approach. I said, I don't have the airport in sight. Can you clear me for the ILS? All he has to do at that point is say, okay, descend and maintain 2,500, cleared ILS, runway 30. That's how it's handled in real life. I've had that 1,000 times probably. You know, you're going in somewhere where it's scattered clouds and you can't see the runway, and they just give you a clearance to make it. Now, if you get that clearance, or say he said, okay, you're cleared ILS 30, and then I was not able to get the aircraft stable in an approach configuration, then I'd have to execute a go-round. But we could have easily made it. So after I said, we don't have it in sight, can we get the ILS? He said, no, when you're expected for a visual approach, you're expected to see the runway, blah, blah, blah. Okay, one, I might accept that explanation if this was real life, but this is the sim. Who knows, like, the sim reloads clouds all the time. So he said, okay, well, I'll give you an ILS approach. He eventually cleared me for the ILS. He said, descend and maintain 2,500, cleared ILS, runway 30. By that time, I had the airport in sight. So then I said, okay, we have it in sight now, cleared for the visual runway 30. Then he went back and he's like, well, you can't clear yourself for a visual approach, only I can do that. But you had just cleared me earlier. So I don't know. It's just a fact of the controller trying to, I don't know what he's trying to do. I don't think I'm in the wrong in that situation. At the very least, there's no reason for an argument at that situation. Like, just give me the ILS. Or just say, okay, go around. Shoot, if he would have said, okay, go around, maybe there's a spacing issue with San Francisco or something. Just tell me to go around. Okay, not a problem. I can't see the runway on a visual approach. I'll go around. Maybe the weather's changed. That happens, that happens in real life. So I made a wrong turn here. I want to stay right. So there's no reason to start spatting out instructions and saying, well, you can't, if you're expected for the visual, you have to see the runway. What does he want me to do? Say, yes, I have the runway in sight when I'm clearly in the clouds? No, I'm not going to violate myself. So that's on you. If you can't give me the ILS, tell me to go around. There's no reason to sit there and act all know-it-all and then eventually give me an ILS clearance anyway. I don't know, man. I'll have to rewatch that one, but either way, I mean, there's no reason for an argument. There is absolutely no reason for that conversation to take place. Bleed is on, yellow electric pump is on, shutdown 2. So I'm going to have to watch the replay on that to see exactly what happened. He said I misspoke and I said clear for the ILS 2. Yeah, so I did misspoke. So I think he initially cleared me, correct me if I'm wrong, he cleared me for the visual. I said I can't do it. Can you give me the ILS? He then said, well, I can't give you an approach clearance that close, yada, yada, yada. And then eventually gave me the ILS approach. But I had responded, by that time I had already responded saying that I had the runway in sight. So then I said, okay, I'm cleared for the visual. But he said, well, you can't do that because you did it. And now I just screwed up my taxi to the gate here. Uh-oh. Oh, That was a terrible parking job there. I shut down 2 and I went past my gate. I guess our marshaller is not going to be working today.
Subscriber ahead. Look up.
I guess I'll stop myself. We'll stop it there. That's close enough. Brakes are set. Seatbelt sign is off. APU is on. Shut down engine number 1. You know what I should have done is I should have left Pilot Edge connected and then done the replay. I should have just sat in replay mode connected to Pilot Edge. Oh well. Whatever. 10% beacons coming off. Welcome to Oakland, guys. Never a dull moment with Pilot Edge, I swear. Let's go ahead and take a look at the replay. As far as the landing goes, that was pretty terrible. I was not really focused at all on that one. What am I looking for? Real view. I just, yeah, I was not really focused on that. Alright. Replay mode. I'm going to get to some of your comments here, and then we're going to get out of here. I want to go here. How about here? There we go. And what we're going to do is we're going to go here, and then we're going to go here. Perfect. Want to watch it from the base side? Let's watch it from here. All right. Let me read up some of the comments here. Dimitri IM says, another one of the books, Captain. Are you going to be filing a report with the V1 Sim dispatch? I might, man. My text says I was treated by a Pilot Edge controller. Blake says someone's going to send him the link to this video and he'll realize his wrongdoing. Maybe. I don't... I'll have to rewatch it to see who is wrong completely, but like I said, there is no reason to have an argument at that point. If you can't clear me for the ILS for some reason, just tell me to go around. I was on a visual approach. I was expecting a visual. I couldn't see the runway. Help a brother out. You know, give me the ILS. If I can't make it, I'll make the determination to go around. But then you got to tout arrogance and just, you know, create an argument that does not need to be created there. Quentin John says, how did you get to do reposition flight for you? They're in the repo contracts, man. I have to talk about, I got to look at this Project Fly thing, see if it's working again. Hit me up in the Discord for that. Alberto says, I don't mean to add more fuel to the fire, but he's just being an ass, excuse my French. Yeah, you know, he seems to be pretty arrogant, man. Like, I wanted to say, man, today he was super chill and nothing, we had a great flight, but... Gaming Ninja says you cleared yourself for the ILS afterwards, not the visual, which made it even more riled up. Okay, so he never cleared me for the ILS anyway? Austrian 279 says I have to go see you again. It was fun. Have a nice day. Malsker04 says, are you an airline? Yes, I am. Have a good one, Austrian. Gaming Ninja says never violate yourself on the flight deck. Let's back it up again. That was pretty nice. HD Sim says, you always have issues with Marcus the controller. I am surprised he gave problem with that request. He happened to be one of the better controllers in Pilot Edge. Yeah, and like, I don't know Marcus as a person, but I'm just talking as professionalism, right? So, regardless of the situation, there's no need for an argument there. I know I'm expecting a visual. I can't see the runway. Either tell me to go around or shut the hell up, you know, like, or just give me the approach, one of the two. BKG says people always defend Pilot Edge for being to the book, but they seem to enjoy being more by the book than real life controllers. And I would agree with that, BKG. So I don't know ATC law. I don't know if he is not physically allowed to clear me for the approach in that position. But I can tell you, in real life, I've had that happen numerous times. You're expecting the visual, but there might be some puffy clouds around you, so you may not see the runway. So you say, I can't quite see it. If you just give me a clearance for the ILS, I'll make it work. Meaning, if I can't get established, you know, then I'll go around. Because the controllers have, I do know this, they have little gates that they have to put the aircraft in to accept, to give them an approach clearance. I think that would be the correct way of phrasing that. So if I'm not in the gate, maybe he can't technically give me that clearance, but he could, and just, you know, I'd have to go around if I can't make it, or at the very least, tell me to go around. I don't know. I don't know, man. Gaming Ninja says, no one learns anything from bickering back and forth. Take it up on the pilotage forum. In that case, just no one reflates on this guy somehow. Yeah, I'm going to rewatch the whole thing there, and I'll post an update in the Discord of what I think. But I'm going to rewatch that whole sequence, and then I'll go from there. So, anyways. Wow, thank you for the subscription there, Con Pilot. Micah says he never cleared me for the ILS. Okay, I think you meant to say visual. I'll check it. I'm going to watch the whole replay. I'll post it in the Discord, what my final thoughts are on it, and then we'll go from there. But, I mean, damn. There's no reason for an argument. That's the worst part about this whole situation, is there's no need to be arguing over the comms right there. Con Pilot says, hello, Captain. Top content. Quick question. In selected speed, how far away from touchdown would you recommend start decelerating gear and green dot speed? No speed restrictions. So 2,000 feet, Con Pilot. If you're at flaps 2, always try to be flaps 2, 180 knots at 2,000 feet. As soon as you go below 2,000 feet, hit manage speed, put the gear down, and you will configure on schedule, and you'll never be fast, you'll never be high. So if you can be at 2,000 feet above touchdown zone with flaps 280 knots, you're golden. You can see here my landing, I came in, I was all wonky on the controls. I was high. I think I forgot that I had manual thrust on, and I just kind of set her down. I mean, it wasn't I was off center line too. Overall, pretty terrible landing, but hey, we're safe, so what are you going to do about it? All right, guys. I'm going to leave you with a few more replays. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to watch this replay. I want to see exactly what happened. And kind of a bummer we had to end on that note, but it is what it is. So thank you, everybody, for tuning in on this stream. Thank you for all my mods, the sponsors, guys just hanging out here and chat with us. I really appreciate you all being here. Even if you can't, support the channel and monetary value, you're just important to me as anybody else, just being here in this community. So thank you guys again. I'll leave you with this replay here, and I will catch you guys on the next stream. See ya.